I am K. Divya Prabha, studying in 2nd MSc Microbiology at Vivekananda Arts and Science College for Women, Virachpalayam, Sangagiri, Salem. This presentation is presented under the guidance of Dr. R. Dinesh Kumar, Assistant Professor in Department of Microbiology. The subject is Soil and Environmental Microbiology. My topic is Components of Environment. Environment comes from the French word. Environment means surrounding. Environment is made up of two types. One is biotic elements, another one is abiotic elements. Biotic elements means all the living things that includes living things like humans, animals, plants, microorganisms. Abiotic elements it's a non-living things like water, soil, air, temperature and light. Environment is made up of four naturally connected components like lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere. Lithosphere means this is the land part. Hydrosphere means water part. Atmosphere means air part. Biosphere means living things that exist in the first we have to see the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means hydro means water. Hydrosphere is the one of the important part of the environment. Hydrosphere includes the water bodies. The water bodies have three forms: liquid, solid and gas forms. The hydrosphere is made up of all the water around the earth's surface. It includes the oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, streams and groundwater. Next we have to see the lithosphere. Lithosphere comes from the Greek word litho means rock, sphere means earth. That's the outer layer of the earth. It's made up of solid rocks, soil, mountains and continents. Next we have to see the atmosphere. The earth's atmosphere is a system of gases and particles that act as shelter around the earth. It goes at the height of several kilometers and it is divided into four zones: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere.
Let's begin with the troposphere, which is the lowest layer of the atmosphere and then the one of the closest to Earth. This is the layer where we live. The word tropo means turning or changing, and it is called so because more changes happen here than in any other layer. The troposphere is where all our weather occurs, including rain, storms and clouds made of ice crystals. It is the slowest layer but holds almost all the mass of the atmosphere. Its thickness varies about 16 kilometers at the equators but less than 9 kilometers at the poles. In this layer, as altitude increases, the temperature decreases. The next layer is stratosphere, which is the second major layer of the atmosphere. It extends upward from the troposphere to up to 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. The word strato means layer or means spread out, and that perfectly describes its structure. One of the most important features of the stratosphere is the ozone layer, which protects the living organisms by absorbing harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. This is the region is also known for its calm and stable air, which is why jet aircraft often fly here. Interestingly, unlike the stratosphere, the temperature in the stratosphere increases with altitude due to the heat absorbed by the ozone layer. The next layer of the atmosphere is mesosphere, which is the third layer. The word meso means middle, and this layer stretches about 50 kilometers to 80 kilometers above the Earth's surface. One of its most important role is protecting our planet from meteoroids. When meteoroids enter the atmosphere, they burn up in the mesosphere, creating what we often see as shooting stars. These bright trails are actually hot, glowing gases left behind by burning meteoroids. Unlike the stratosphere, Here the temperature decreases with altitude, making it coldest layer of the atmosphere is the mesosphere. Thermosphere. The thermosphere is one of the outermost layer of the atmosphere. It begins around 80 kilometers above the Earth's surface and extends far into outer space without a clear upper limit. The word thermo means heat. This is the thickest layer of the atmosphere. Even though the temperature here rises sharply with altitude, you would not actually feel warm because the earth molecules are so sparse that they cannot transfer heat efficiently to your skin. The temperature is divided into two important regions, the ionosphere and the exosphere. Finally, we have the exosphere, the outermost layer of the atmosphere. The word exo means outer, which perfectly describes its position. It forms the upper portion of the thermosphere and begins around 400 kilometers above the earth, extending outward for the thousands of kilometers into deep space. This is the region where space shuttles and satellites orbits our planet. Beyond the exosphere, the atmosphere gradually merges with outer space of the earth.
Biosphere. The biosphere is where naturally living beings live, such as humans, animals, plants, and microbes. It is the part of the environment system that completes the essential needs of all living beings like water, food, air.
Conclusion. The major four components of the environment, the hydrosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere, are fundamentally interconnected. Changes in one sphere inevitably affects the others, influencing the overall ecological balance. Comprehensive understanding of these relationships is essential for informed decision making regarding environmental issues like pollution, deforestation, and climate change, and for the sustainable management of the earth resources.